Hello guys, Lit here. So we got two new support gems, and I also want to talk a little bit about the Lixar build because I do made some adjustment to it. I found a better setup that have more DPS and also better survivability. So the first one is the new support gem, which is Void Shockwave support. This is an upgrade for Shockwave support. It have a better damage effectiveness, it has a better radius, it's also repeat 4 times, which is make the clear a lot better, and it's also have lower cooldown. So this one looking really good, and based on the themes and also the flavor text, this one seems to drop from Elder, but we'll find out for sure when the league is actually start. And the second one is as communicate support. These support gems give us physical damage as extra fire and lightning, which is both of them is good for us. It also have some small increased physical damage, which is also good, and it also apply excommunicate on the enemy. Now, excommunicate apparently is already in the game, and this basically make the enemy cannot deal chaos damage, which seems pretty good on the paper. I never played with this debuff before. The question is how reliable is this debuff? Because if it's reliable enough, then we won't need as much chaos resistance. We still need some chaos resistance for the ground degen, for example, like desecrated ground that deal chaos damage. We cannot eliminate that with excommunicate, so we still need some chaos resistance. But we can get some extra chaos resistance that apply to damage over time from Sword of Alakali, that is a Pantheon major card, which we already use because damage over time is one of the weakness of this build. But at the very least with this one, we probably do not need as much chaos resistance as before. Especially for a map mod like monster have physical convert to chaos, that probably can be a mod that can be mitigated by this debuff. But we'll see about the effectiveness when we actually got the gem and actually play with it. Now for the changes on the POB itself, the first one is on the Forbidden Flame and Flash. I decided to go for Guardian instead of the Inquisitor. And this is because Guardian gives us increased observations, which going to be helpful for the next league because there is the nerf to the other exhaustions. Now it reserves only 15%. Next league is going to be 20%. And we also can squeeze in Herald Purity on the mid-budget setup, so we get a little bit more DPS. Also with Guardian, it gives us every 4 seconds regenerate 50% life over 1 second. Sometimes this can come in clutch, so it's a little bit more recovery for us. But the bigger part is if you attack recently, you and nearby allies have plus 10 chance to block attack damage. And with this one, we basically increase the spam block chance on the mid budget by a lot. Right now we have like 51%, which is almost capped. And we also have the chance to block if we cast recently, which we cast from Desecrate or Assassin Mark. Both of them still count as cast. And if we include this, we are basically 61%. This is like 4% shy from block caps, right? So this is a very good in terms of survivability. I just do not want to mark this because that is still conditional. So that is the first thing that I changed. The second one is, so I removed the entire area over here, which gives us a lot of points to play around. And we get a little bit more DPS, some extra endurance charges over here. And the global recovery apparently not as good as I thought it will be. So I decided to just abandon these whole things. And I also changed the ascendancy from Trickster to Saboteur because the blind for Saboteur actually pretty important because if you click over here, the enemy is blind. It's not just about they less likely to hit you, but it's also increase your likelihood to hit them. So the blind is actually really good for the hit rating because we are very short on them, especially on the mid budget. Because we get quite a lot of block from the Guardian, we can actually go for Abyssos if you want to. I tried a little bit. The defensive is not that big of a deal. It is squishier because you only have like 4,000 life, and we do take more physical damage taken, but you do get like way more DPS, like from 12 million up to 16.8. So I do test that one out, and apparently it still works fine. I tested on Maven, Elder, Shaper, all the bosses, even with Maven Invitations, it still works fine. The problem I encounter is on the Fear Invitations. I don't know, maybe because I'm just suck at the mechanics, so that one I still have problem on the Fear Invitations, but other than that, and I can do all the bosses and all of them work just fine. And for the higher budget, I changed things a little bit, basically try to get a little bit more life, a little bit more damage, and the same thing also with the Forbidden Flame. I decided to go for Guardian, so now we are using Hatred instead of Herald of Us. And I also abandoned the entire Thread of Hope. A simple gem like this is apparently is better. We also have some point from that one, which we can use for some damage and also some survivability. And for the mastery, recover energy, shield, and life when you block. This one is optional, but this one is kind of nice to have. And it's also only 1 point, so like why not? And if you want something like more armor, you can go for like 30% increased defense. We're going to have like 20k armor. I just don't really like the armor that much after I play for it a little bit. Like the armor doesn't seem to make a lot of difference for whatever reasons. And also because of the Guardian give us a lot of block already, we don't need as much tattoo as before. So we can free up some strength, which gives us a little bit more life and also a little bit more damage. And you can also reduce the need for tattoo a little bit more if you count as like the last line from the Guardian when if you cast a spell recently. Which on higher budget you cast more from Assassin Mark, Desecrate, and also Elemental Weakness for the Balance of Terror. Because you need to cast the Elemental Weakness to gain the benefit from the Balance of Terror. So in a sense, you are most likely going to have that 10% spell block. For the conservative value, I decided to not check this one out. So this is like the amount of tattoo that I put here. But if you think that that one is reliable enough, you can check this one and you basically can remove 5 tattoo. And that can give you a little bit more life and a little bit more damage. So that's about it for the update. I just want to make this update before the league start. And as usual, if you guys have any questions, leave in the comment below. I will try my best to answer it. And thank you everyone for watching. I really, really appreciate it. And I will see you on the next one.